Oh my gosh. Good morning, happy Monday, and welcome back to our regularly scheduled programming, aka a nice work week in the life. My name is Anna, if you do not know me yet, and I am a social worker, a licensed master level social worker working at a children's hospital. And today is the first 5-day work week that I've had in 3 weeks. Like, this is the 4th week. Oh my gosh. I had 3 non-5-day work weeks. Now we're back at them this week. Thankfully though, it's Martin Luther King Day weekend, this upcoming weekend, so even though we're being brutalized by a 5-day work week, next week is not the same. I feel a little bit apprehensive going into today because I have not been able to get my feet back under me since the holidays, and like at the hospital, the holiday didn't really slow anything down. So what happened really was that like I took my days off and then I came back to work and I just have so much to get caught up on. Like I had new people I didn't know, I had lots of kids in the ICU, which is a very much higher acuity, and there's just been a lot going on. And so there were several things that I needed to get to last week that I didn't end up getting to last week, and so I need to prioritize this week. And a few of those things are like scheduling family meetings between families and doctors. I have like 4 of those to schedule this week, which is a lot. That's a lot for a week. So I feel like right now I'm feeling a little bit stressed. I'm sure once I get to work, like I'll just take a super long time getting my bearings back around me. Maybe some people discharged over the weekend. I'm not sure. I'm sure it'll be a fine week regardless. And I have like some out of work things that are fun this upcoming week too, but just need to get there, need to see what's in store for me.
Social work.
I just got out of my little chill and recoup bath and I'm about to go sit on the couch to continue chilling and recouping because I had such a busy day, which I knew was gonna happen, but it did happen. And it's not even like anything like bad went on or anything. I just feel like I was running around all day, which just kind of drained me in a way that I can recharge back up again. But I had several psychosocial assessments that I was trying to complete, and honestly all of them were just like partially completed. I didn't actually get them all the way done or typed up. I barely got all my notes done for today, but I did get all my notes done for today. I had several of the family meetings that I think I was mentioning this morning that I needed to schedule, and I did get 2 scheduled. Honestly, the 2 that I most needed to, I got scheduled, which is good, but both of them are going to be happening on Wednesday. So Wednesday is going to be a busy day too. Several new families had come in, and so whenever a new family comes into the hospital, I mostly just like introduce myself and talk to them, and sometimes when talking to them, needs come up or something that I can help with comes up. So that's always priority whenever someone's coming in, just to establish rapport right quick. I don't even know for real why today was so much busier than I feel like usually days are. Like I hardly had a chance to sit down and like take a deep breath. Anytime I was sitting, I was charting, I was typing my little notes. So I probably spent 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. chart reviewing, figuring out everything that had gone on over the weekend. For my patients I already knew, chart reviewing for patients who are new to see like what happened to bring them into the hospital, why they were here, if anything happened over the weekend. And then I also print out my census and I like highlight highlight my patients on the census. I write down parent names just so they're easy access and I can refer back to it. And I'll usually write down my to-dos for the day too. So that's kind of the like triaging part a little bit, figuring out what I need to do, highest priority, what's my goal gonna be. And then I had rounds from probably like 10:15 to 10:45-ish, which is when we learn daily updates, learn if there's like anything the medical team wants us to be involved with or be aware of. And then after that is when I kind of start like circling the floor in the unit to see who's around and what I can complete. So I was seeing people from about that time until probably about 1 or so. And then at 1, I went downstairs to type up notes for everything that I had done so far, which honestly took me like, I would say like 1 to 2:30. Like it took a long time. And I ate my lunch while I was doing that. Usually I take a lunch away from my desk, but today was not that day. So I worked through my lunch break, but I get paid through my lunch break if I do that. So the pro and a con. And then at 2:30, I headed back upstairs to do some of the other things that I hadn't gotten the chance to do yet. And so from like 2:30 to I would say like 4:10, I was back upstairs seeing families, doing the scheduling things, reaching out to people, making calls, all that kind of thing. And then at like 4:10, came back downstairs and continued to do notes for all of that from like 4:10 to 4:30, and then I left. So it's just a lot of moving fast, in which whenever I got home, I was like, I feel like I need to relax. And Zach was like, how about take a bath? And I was like, yeah, sounds great. And now I'm gonna go drink my kombucha and read because we gotta do things that are fun. I had such a busy day today at work, and I ended up staying about 45 minutes overtime. I feel like I've mentioned how things have just been busy lately, and I feel like just honestly it was bound to happen. Just a lot of people on my caseload and various things like being support and finding resources as needed, and there's just a lot going on. And I feel like it's not even like each situation is such a unique individual situation that I like can't get too much more in depth about it, but I feel like I'm kind of having to take the forefront so far this week with like, okay, Anna, take care of yourself. Like both yesterday and today, I did not take lunch breaks, and then today I left late. So honestly, the overtime is gonna be great this week. I'm gonna be rich. But also now, like I knew I wanted to go to the library to get my books. I feel like I'm just gonna need to focus on taking another night of hanging out and chilling, having a good time. The books I got, the door-to-door bookstore, They're Vicious Games, and The Winner is by Frederick Bachman. I think Zach's making dinner upstairs. Oh my gosh, there was a tornado warning this morning. I feel like that was the chill part of my day. Everything's okay. The storm blew over. It was just such a huge storm. Like woke up probably around like 5 with the biggest boom of thunder in the world, and then pouring down rain, lightning, wind, everything. Tornado warning that then they quickly like canceled. But it's just been a day, you know? Oh my gosh. Sorry. Woke up a little before my alarm today. Happy Wednesday morning. I have a goal for this to be like the start of the week. Like we're doing something different now than we've been doing Monday and Tuesday so far this week. I slept really well, to be honest. And I also gotta be honest, it's not even that I like haven't been vlogging things so far on Monday and Tuesday. It just truly is that I haven't been doing anything other than at work, get home, recover, and that's about it. I feel like a little ache right now. I feel like I'm probably gonna leave for work kind of early today. Like get there early, I mean. Which I know is like expounding on the problem considering I left so late yesterday. But because I left so late yesterday, like unplannedly, I did not finish all of my notes or really even any of my notes. And I feel like since I have enough to do today, I wanna get there kind of early so that I can type up some notes and then have like a good actual start to my new day instead of trying to like finish off things from the yesterday, you know, if that makes sense. And then also today I have 2 of the family meetings, both in the afternoon, and neither of which I'm like necessarily nervous for or anything. It just is, I'll just have to make sure to get what I can done of other work and things before those start, since I think they'll take me right up to leaving again today, and then that also requires typing notes. So even though things are so busy, I'm trying to be really smart about managing it all, and I'm also trying to acknowledge the fact that it is such an ebb and a flow of my workload, and just because I'm busy right now, like it's not going to be like that for long. So I just kind of have to like ride this wave for a little second, and then we'll be back to maybe more normal programming. Tonight I do have my second ballet class, which I am excited for. This part's not as interesting, but I'm actually going to Wednesday instead of Saturday, because I thought on Saturday I would be like staying inside after getting a facial, because I was going to get like a full face done of microneedling for my facial. But I thought that, I mean, like that's what I was planning in my own head, but my little like subscription just renewed for my facials, and so I just was able to schedule, and I think my person's going out of town for Martin Luther King Day weekend, which makes sense, more power to her, because there were no times available to book. And so then just with like various different things going on, the next weekend that I was available to do a facial is February 3rd, which is a bummer in the sense that like they're so relaxing and I like look forward to them. But all that being said, I technically could have gone to my Saturday ballet class, but I think it'll be nice to kind of like try out the different levels and see where I feel more comfortable, because whenever I went on Saturday, I went to like beginner/intermediate class, whereas tonight's just going to be beginner. And I danced for 14 years, so it's not like it's not like I'm truly just starting. However, Saturday was my first class in 6 years. So it bumps me backwards a bit, obviously. And it was crazy because like my brain remembered the words and it seemed like my body remembered the steps for the most part, but I was just like haven't done it in so long. But it would be cool because it'd be like my arms were ending up where they needed to be without me even thinking about it. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at this muscle memory. Muscle memory stayed alive. But then it would also be things like she would show a combination and then be like, all right, start counting us off. And I'd be like, oh gosh, I don't know. I don't know what we're doing now. Like my brain remembering choreography and stuff is not how it once was. But I'm gonna try to get ready. I feel like, so I got out of bed at 5:55 today, whereas yesterday I got out of bed at 6:45. So if I move at that same rate, I should definitely be able to get to work early. But I think sometimes, like mentally, if I know I have more time, I just like move really slow. And so I'm trying not to do that. I'm gonna get ready. The Wednesday being a whole brand new day thing lasted for a little time, not a long time. I have gotten all ready for ballet. The direct overhead lighting gets me every time, oh my gosh. I've gotten all ready for ballet so that I can like sit and read from now until, I have like an hour before I need to leave, so that's kind of good. I only left from work 15 minutes late today instead of an hour 15. Just kidding. But yesterday was 45 minutes late, today was 15. So we're moving in the right direction. It's just been so busy. Like I cannot emphasize exactly how busy it's been. But I think part of that just being moving kids through the hospital, addressing any barriers to discharge as they may come up, and trying to work quickly to address those barriers to discharge so as to not prolong the process, kept me busy today. And then I also had my 2 family meetings, both of which went so well, and I actually got 1 note done already. The other note I'll work on tomorrow. That's the only note that I didn't get done today, which I feel like is a win. I was trying to kind of like type as I go throughout the day, because basically every single thing that I do with a family gets documented. Like I document it, and then, well, this is kind of funny too. With that, I've mentioned before how our productivity gets tracked. So like whenever we document things, we mark how long it took us to do too, and they like track how much we're doing. Today my productivity was 100%, which is high. Which is so crazy high. But it's because I was just like moving and grooving literally all day today. Even my whoop. I haven't worked out today besides my walks. I don't know if that'll focus, but I'm already in my like optimal strain. Like it's like you're good to go for the day. And unfortunately that was all just done via the work day. I'm excited for ballet tonight. Very excited, actually. And I think it'll be good too, just like have some classical music going, have some mental relax time. I'm gonna keep reading my book now between now and when I leave. Wildfire. It's the second one in the same universe as Icebreaker. I've been loving it so far. Still have a little bit left. I apologize. I feel like once I get busy, my personality just like right through a little straw. I might get it back. And it's like, I'm doing okay because I'm coping, but I don't have like too much extra bandwidth. You know what I mean? So, see ya at ballet. I don't think I have my personality back yet. I'm working on it though. I'm gonna start with after work and then we'll talk about work. But after work today, I had a laser hair removal appointment, and I actually half graduated myself, which is kind of exciting. So I started laser hair removal in October 2022. So like a year and some change ago, and I'm getting my armpits and full Brazilian done. And today I decided to graduate Brazilian because I feel like the results are kind of, laser hair removal is like a hair growth reduction. So it's not like completely eliminating all hair growth ever in the future, but I'm at a level where I'm like, I feel like we're doing pretty good. Now it could be that where I get like 20 weeks from now, which is a long time, what, 5 months from now, and I decide to go back for another session, I can do it for a lifetime. So that's kind of fun. My little pitties though, my little armpits, they're not quite ready yet. Not quite yet. I think it's so funny though, because I go to Milan laser hair removal and I very rarely have had the same person twice whenever I've been going, even though I go to the same location. And it's so funny how like different people do it different. Today, I swear the girl went so much, shall I say, deeper than any other person has ever gone laser hair removal. And that was quite a shock, but I did it. Now backing up into work, I think I've just accepted the fact that this is a crazy, crazy week, and I'm just hoping that the wave of craze kind of dies down. I know I was so hopeful, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed on Wednesday with my whole, this is a new week as of now spiel. Today is a new day. And then like, that was the busiest day of my life. I wouldn't say today was the busiest day of my life. It felt slower compared to the past couple of days I've had, but like on average, of busyness level, still very much on the high side. Today did not feel like as hectic though, but it was not nice, calm, chill, and relaxing, and I kind of want nice, calm, chill, and relaxing just like one more time again in my life, please. A couple days like that. The good news though is that tomorrow is Friday, and then it's a 3-day weekend. And no matter what happens, 4:30 is gonna hit tomorrow on Friday, and it's gonna be the 3-day weekend no matter what. So whatever tomorrow holds, which there are some wild cards, shall I say, tomorrow, no matter what tomorrow holds, 4:30 will hit and the week will be done. And I don't know. I feel like I've been going through it. I'm excited though. I mean, this video is not over, don't get it twisted, but I am excited for this video to post because I feel like people have been missing work week vlogs, and I totally understand that. I 100% understand that, because especially when I watch other people's videos, lots of times it is like the routine, like work week type videos that I enjoy picking up and watching. And I know people have been waiting for this one, but I also hope that while satisfying scratching the itch of a work week vlog, this one can also give a little picture into why there's not always work week vlogs from every week, because sometimes it truly is survival mode, but I don't mean that in like a bad way. Like I don't mean that in like a I'm barely surviving way, but I just mean that in like a, sometimes I spend a lot of my energy at work, and then it's like I don't do anything else. Like I mean, I'm sitting here editing a video, so that's doing something. I made hot chocolate, that's doing something. I went to ballet last night, that's doing something. I've been reading my books, those are doing things, but like, I feel like you know what I mean. I feel like I don't need to over explain myself. So if you're ever craving a work week video, and the video that I happen to post I lost my train of thought. Oh, if you're ever craving a work week video and the video that I happen to post that week is like a fun weekend in my life, or like a monthly reset, or a book video or something. Obviously, if you're not interested, you don't have to watch those, but also like for me, being a whole entire person, I need to have other things in my life other than work whenever it can feel so draining, you know? Does that make sense? And 100,000%, this channel is a lot focused on like my professional life, since it is a lot social work centered. But even like when I was in grad school and when I was doing my first job and everything, some videos I make specifically to be like social work centered, you know, like day in the life of a social worker, and we're talking about all of the work things, the nitty gritty, and I know we love that, and I love making those when I can, but also like week in the life as an MSW student or those kinds of things would be like all encompassing of my whole life. And it's like very important to me to include other aspects of my life on this channel because that's what makes me a whole person, not just only social work. I'm trying to think like where this came from in my head and my heart. I think where it comes from is that I feel guilty sometimes posting videos that are fun for me if they're not the videos that I know people prefer, because it's such a balance of like, in order for this to be sustained, I gotta post what I enjoy, but also I hope to post things people like to see. I feel like it's gonna get asked, like I have gotten comments recently about it, and I think that's also probably why it's in my head and on my heart. But I also think weeks like this kind of just like prove it to me even more when I'm thinking about it outside of YouTube and just like in my personal life of like, it's okay for work to feel like a lot during work hours, and then I have to do things that make me feel nice and whole and like a complete person outside of work hours, whether that's reading or ballet or cooking or even just like pouring time into my home or something, like clean decorating. That kind of went like off tangent from where I was planning on turning the camera and talking about. I really was just going to talk about my work update from the day, but I kind of tangentialed off. I think it's so important to be real though about things that like I'm just thinking about, even if they're not life-changing. I'm gonna keep editing this video though so I can get it ready for posting over the weekend, and tomorrow will just be another day, another dollar, you know? Let's sit down not with my vacuum in the background. We'll just choose to have the laundry in the background instead of the vacuum. I made it through the week. Oh my gosh. Today's Saturday morning. I slept for about like 8.5 hours last night. I've like now sat down, had my cup of coffee, so I'm feeling recovered and good. I feel like yesterday was also super busy, but I also was able to tie a lot of things up that won't necessarily carry over into the new week, which feels good. The things that I do have carrying over into the new week are honestly a lot of like paperwork things that hopefully whenever I get in on Tuesday, I can just like sit down and do. It's like putting finishing touches on like financial assistance applications and things like that I just need to do the like documentation, paper, keeping track of those types of things, even though the actual stuff is done. But yesterday's busyness was different, and I feel like this is something that is a learning curve when you become a social worker, but you also like, you just get good at it because you kind of have to. But balancing having so many different things going on at once, for example, if you have 18, 19, for example, people that you're working with, each single one of them could be, you could be working on different things with all of them, and being able to like keep space in your brain for all of the things that you have going on can be such a hard thing in the beginning, because I think so often like when we're in class or just like the workflow of a lot of things in life, you can more like follow a task to its finish and then start a new task and then start a new task, or like you're working on a project and you just are pouring your time and energy into that project, whereas typically in the social work workflow of things, you are working on like 18 different things at the same time, and so you keep having to constantly, constantly in your head kind of like triage and be like, okay, what do I spend this hour working on? Okay, if that's not done yet, like now actually I need to move on to this thing and then come back to this thing and then type up the note here. Like you are just constantly rearranging your to-do list in your head to try to get, you know, the highest need things done first, like the priority things, the urgent things if there are any. For example, yesterday I was working on a prescription assistance voucher, and our goal is to always have discharges be as timely as possible. Like once a kid is medically ready to go, the best place for them to be is anywhere but the hospital. And so anything that we can do to help make sure that discharge doesn't get delayed, obviously it's very good. But around 12:20, I was made aware that if I'm able to meet with a family and get the voucher off and faxed by 1 p.m., the medications could be delivered and it wouldn't delay discharge. And so all of a sudden, every single thing I was working on dropped. Had to focus on that. And then like, does that make sense? I feel like that is something that can overwhelm so many people whenever you're in your first post-grad job. Because even honestly in your internship, it's not too much like that way because your hand is still being held a lot, which is good. Love that. But it can be something that's overwhelming in your first post-grad job, is keeping everything organized and finding systems that work for you and trying to make sure that nothing falls through the cracks. And I think that a lot of this week was a lot of that, where it was just like I had a lot of different things going on at once, and some things got pushed up on the priority list, but also I couldn't not do the other things. And so that's why I felt like I was kind of running around a lot and had a lot going on each day, because I did. But for me too, like there is a sense of feeling so successful then at the end of the days, because even though a lot of this week was so busy, it wasn't like, it was draining in the sense that it took a lot of my physical energy, but it wasn't like emotionally tough in the ways that things have been before. So I feel like that's why this week, even though it was so busy and a lot was focused on like recovery in the evenings, it wasn't like, oh, that was such a hard week. It more so was like whenever I was leaving work yesterday, I was like, I did that. Like I did those things. I tied up those bows, and that feels very good. My goals for today, I have tomorrow's upload exporting right now, and so that then I can get like a thumbnail ready in time for it being posted tomorrow on Sunday. I do want to spend time cleaning the apartment, but like in a good way. Like I don't feel overwhelmed by it. I just starting to enjoy cleaning, because then like the results are so nice. And so a lot of that today is laundry, per usual. It always is laundry. I want to read my book some today. I'm sure I'm gonna go work out eventually. I'm kind of just trying to take it chill. What you may notice is that I'm not going on a long run today. Maybe we'll talk about that later, but as you would have seen in last week's vlog, I've been struggling so much with running, and it's like, I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about it later. I don't know what my goals are. I don't know what I'm doing. But I think I'm gonna start by laying on that couch right over there and reading for maybe even just like 20 minutes or something like that. And then moving on to the cleaning portion of today. My goal is just to have such a good Saturday. Like a really good one. I wanna have a really good one.